And now, I talk back with Ray
I'm telling you, I couldn't make it up if I tried.
and Mandii.
You've got to be freaking kidding me. You know what? That's all I'm saying.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us. You are chatting with the amazing Ray and Mandii. Yay! Woo! So we needed to jump on this call. I texted Ray the other day and was like, there's a lot going on right now with this election. I'm riled up and I need to chat about it. She was like, let's jump on the call. So
You have way more opinions than I do, so.
yes, so these are the kind of subjects that people are not comfortable talking about, right? Because you never know who feels what about what,
Exactly.
right? So you really
You don't want to ruffle feathers. They don't want to,
exactly, you tread lightly, you know what I mean? But I feel like at this time that we're at right now, we are in uncharted waters. And I feel like you don't have to be confrontational about things, but you do need to voice because there are power in numbers. And I feel like the more people that rally together behind whatever they believe, it's important, like my biggest thing is like, if you're not gonna, let's just say vote, if you're not gonna speak your opinion, if you're not gonna tell other people how you're feeling, then don't complain about it. Don't complain about what happens. And exactly, like you're gonna have an opinion after. Like, why didn't you say how you felt prior to, you know? So the other day I posted on Facebook, voting. I was like, if you haven't registered to vote, make sure you register to vote. I posted a link for just the nationwide voting site. I think it's a vote.gov or vote.org, one of those two, but it's on the web and on my Facebook page. Because I want people to make sure that they're registered. If it's something that you're passionate about and you really want your voice to be heard, I honestly, I don't care how you vote. I don't,
as long as you vote.
Exactly, as long as you vote, whichever way that resonates with you, because everybody has different opinions about different things. But I also posted a link on there for Texas voters because, we're in Texas, so that they can make sure that they're registered to vote in their county. Because a lot of people have moved, changed addresses. Like, you just need to make sure like all your information is accurate, right? Because everything is going to get down to being so nitpicky especially this election. You want to make sure that you get ahead of it, right? So make sure that the address is updated where you live, make sure that your name matches your voter registration card, make sure that, everything you've, crossed those T's and dotted those I's because it's going to matter.
Don't give them a reason, like take away the reason. Yeah.
Exactly. And so then what I'm going to do later on, I'll go ahead and post the links on our website for people to be able to access so that they can go on there and make sure that they're registered if it's something that they're wanting to do. Also, felons. For people who've had felony convictions, I saw that in one state, it's like 130,000 people have been banned from voting because they've had felony convictions.
What do you feel about that in general?
So in Texas, as long as you've served your sentence and you've been cleared and everything's done, you should be okay to register. If for any reason you get any kickback, there is, a site that you can go to get everything cleared up. But as far as felons being able to vote, I feel like it's a freedom, right? Like everybody should have the right. Everybody should have the right to vote regardless. If it's something that you're passionate about and you really want to be involved and you really want to make like a staple, then you should be able to vote.
Yeah. I mean, this you're awesome that you're putting that link on the site. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I just want people, because, people don't know what they don't know. And if you if you're not resourceful or you don't know where to go to look, it can get overwhelming. So I just want to make it as easy as possible for people to be able to go click and do what they need to do.
Yeah.
I just think it's really important. It really is. So, yeah, let's chat about the nominee, the Democratic nominee.
So first of all, I will say this. I have been saying for a very long time that Biden should have never, the Democrats should have never put him on the ticket. He's not well, right?
Yeah.
I have my own feelings about that, but like at the end of the day, like for to have a good campaign, I believe that you have to at least have a fighting chance. And I think when you don't even have a fighting chance, and I don't know his mental status or state or health or anything like that, but clearly something was not right. Like, I don't know what, something was not right. He couldn't follow conversations. It was almost like cringy. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, it was very difficult to watch. And at that point, even like the separate interview that he did, it is, to me, it just brought the point home. So I have been saying that they should have never put him on that. I feel like then putting him on that ticket was just handing it over. But I believe, I mean, what this is like July, about to be August. I just feel like it, for them to have pulled him from the ticket so late, I think was a mistake. I mean, not a mistake that they pulled him from the ticket. I feel like they should have never put him on it. Because at least it would have gave the other candidate, regardless of who it was going to be,
more time,
more time and a chance to build a base and a chance to have the, to have the debates and a chance to have all this stuff where I feel like he didn't show anything that he wouldn't show him before.
Yeah. This is like their Hail Mary pass, right? Like their Hail Mary pass, right? Like they're like, oh, well, people are,
and it was just so
feeling this way
now. Yeah. And it was like, man, if y'all were listening to people before, y'all would have never put him on there.
Right.
And then y'all would have at least given the new candidate a fighting chance, or just more time to prepare and gain the following and gain this and gain that and, do that and, pick a running mate and all that stuff. I just feel like my personal feelings is that Mike is great, but I believe it was ill-timed.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal.
For sure. My biggest thing with our new commander-in-chief is we pretty much employ them. Like the money that they take from us, it goes to fund things, right? And so if they're in that position to serve the country, right? To make sure that they're doing what they need to do for us, for the people, even though we're like a little blip on the billions of people that they're serving, right? But it still matters. And I know that each state has their own individual government, but it matters still. Because it's like an umbrella, right? It's like everything trickles down and everything has a domino effect. So whether it's not going to affect you now, eventually the ripple will get to you, right? Eventually. Yeah.
It's like the tax laws that Trump put in place are affecting people now. People are freaking out. And it's like, this is not new. Like, this is, it's said in there as the plan. Yeah. This is a 5-year plan. I don't know. Like, people are just like, oh, they didn't pay attention to that. Well, now you have no choice but to pay attention to it.
Exactly.
So it just goes to show you, like, what people put in place, it's always a trickle down effect.
Absolutely.
And so normally you don't even feel it for the first year or two. You start to feel it after that, So.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And then it's like, well, now we're pointing fingers. Oh, it's their fault. Oh, it's their fault.
But he just so happens to be in office now, but that's not who set that law in place.
Right. Exactly. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear about your golfing. I don't want to hear about you. I don't care about your opinions about each other. Like, I don't care. Like, what are you doing for us? How are you serving us? And especially, like, I'm just going to say it on Kamala's campaign right now. A lot of it is like to defeat Trump. I get that. And I get why you're saying it, because had it been any other situation, that would have been fine, because that's what candidates did before. But because emotions are heightened right now, I feel like that wording should not be on her campaign. I don't feel like defeating anybody should be on the campaign. I feel like what needs to be on your campaign is what you're doing for us.
What you're doing for the people.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing for us? I don't care.
So I'm going to read this. So, and maybe I'm not understanding, but it could be I'm not understanding. But it says, like, for what she's going to do. It went out. It was basically saying, like, what her stance is, right? What her stances are and what she's doing. It didn't seem very substantive to me. I don't know. Like, I get women's rights. That's great, and I get clean water is important, of course. But I feel like we have not that there's more important things, but there's also other important things,
right?
Like the Civil Rights Act. and I believe in I don't understand why voting is an act for us as African Americans and minorities when in all reality, if the act does not get renewed, we can't vote. That's a problem.
Right.
Why is everybody else's right to vote a law and
Right.
ours is just an act? So I feel like the other presidents that have come through, why does no one address that? I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't understand it, but even like hate crimes and all this stuff, like people get like the whole thing would have to do with the Japanese Americans or Jewish Americans and that kind of thing. They get these laws passed like within no time. We have been fighting civil rights and hate crimes against African Americans for how long? And it still can't seem to pass Congress. Like, I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, like there's no like, I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like there should be, I mean, one of the biggest things people should be talking about is affordable living.
Yes.
We live in Austin.
Oh
this is ridiculous. Like the cost of living, the cost of just going and buying groceries, the cost of, God forbid you go on vacation, that's a luxury now. It used to be expected. It used to be like a night to break. It is a straight up luxury to go just to leave your house and be gone overnight for a weekend, or God forbid you go a week somewhere.
Girl, it is expensive to leave your house. Leave your house.
You see what I'm saying? Like I left the house and I spent $300.
Exactly.
Like it just doesn't make any sense, you know, like utilities, like utility charges. I just think like people like I get all of it. I do, but there's so many things that I feel like have been put on the back burner for so many years through different presidencies that now this year is so heavy. This year is so heavy because so many things have been put on the back burner for so long. And everybody's talking about the whole project 2025. Well, 2025 is only 6 months away.
Whew.
So
let that sink in.
Right. And things have already started to take place in different states based on the governors and all this kind of stuff. And you look at Congress and your senators and legislatures, those elections are just as important. And they don't get, those are the people that actually put forth the laws and initially sign the laws to go to the president to sign off. So why people don't look at all these elections the same way is crazy and nuts to me. But I believe that's why this year, like I said, is so heavy because we already got a glimpse of it before.
It matters. It really does.
And now it's like, what is going to happen?
Yeah, I know.
Because people are extremely bold. Racism has never gone anywhere. It was just dormant for a little while. And now certain things have made it okay. And now you're having to deal with the after effect of when it has been made okay.
Right. And it's like, why can't we be adults? Why can't we have civil conversations with each other without arguing, without freaking having to freaking get physical? Like, why can't we have conversations like grown-ups and really find a solution to the problems? You know what I mean? It's like people are so quick to be like, oh, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. It's not about sides. It's about what can we do to change and make this world better? Because as long as you have that mentality that it's about sides, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get the entire picture, and you're never going to really make a difference, and you're never going to really be fully involved like you should be.
Yeah.
Because
you're only so much underlying. Yeah. And there's so much underlying tension behind the parties and behind like just who you vote for. And it's like the what they stand for. And it's just it's just people are not able just to live and exist and just live a peaceful, happy life anymore. It's always, it's just crazy. It's just, it's unfortunate, but I will say, like, obviously going back to the election stuff, I think it's great, and I'm glad they have a different candidate. I just feel like it might be too little, too late, because I just feel like the momentum's going to have to be nuts in order for it to make that much of a difference, to be honest. And people are going to have to like literally look at what people are standing for, and then it's going to be a race. It's going to be a race thing. Let's just not. I mean, it's going to be black versus white. It's going to be new age versus good old boy.
It's going to be woman versus man.
women voice versus it's like it's so much stuff that's going on. It's just like it's so much underlying tension, and there's so much on the line, and it's just I think it's going to be interesting,
for
to
sure,
say the least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think being involved is the number one thing, right? Like making sure that whoever you know, tell your friends to tell a friend.
Right? Everybody.
Everybody, yeah, just to make sure that everybody has their voice, has their voice.
And voting counts. Like like every vote counts. And just because you may feel like it's already rigged, you already know who's gonna vote or who's gonna win. If it was that easy, they would not care about suppressing a vote.
Yeah.
They would not care about making it difficult. They would not care. So the voting matters. It matters. Otherwise, they wouldn't be like trying to red line and redraw voting districts if it didn't matter.
Yeah,
right. So
for sure.
the people have to pay attention that it matters.
Yeah. And if you're competitive, if you have that competitive streak in you and you take yourself out of the game, your competitors already won.
They've already won. Do your part. And then they do your part, right? Do whatever it is, do your part.
Exactly.
That's what we all have to kind of like,
Exactly. I'm gonna take a drink of my throat. No parts right here.
I know, look, I'm getting ready to do my part.
What? I said mine's Bucky's. I got a little Bucky's cup.
I got my cup already.
Yeah, man. But
I'm ready for football. I'm ready for football season.
Dang, you ready? Guys, I don't know if y'all know this about Rae, but she is obsessed with the one star. She's obsessed with the Cowboys. She got a whole room in her house painted, big old star on the wall.
So you already know. I probably don't have the best advice when it comes to picking stuff, but I love my boys. I can talk about it.
Hey,
it's like you can talk about it, but nobody else can. That's
it's okay. Just bleed blue. It's okay. Just bleed blue.
I'm loyal. If nothing else, I'm loyal.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah. So I was in Threads the other day and I literally started crying when I was scrolling Threads.
Really?
Tears were just coming down my face. Like I couldn't stop them. Just seeing everybody in there, like with so much hope and things,
Yeah. Have you heard about the calls where they're getting people on to and they raised like $2 million in a couple of hours for Kamala, and then the men rate, like it's the black men are like rallying behind her, and
absolutely,
it's definitely a movement. But think about this, man. If they would have done this,
we could have been so much further ahead
in February. If they would, if that momentum had started so many months ago, man, right? I feel like it was ill informed. I don't know who made that decision, but that was absolutely the worst decision they could have made.
Yeah, because now Kamala's campaign is starting to get funded, but now Trump has people funding his as well. Like he has huge $1 million backers supporting his campaign. So now it's pretty much like who can outlast the other with funding, right? How much can we do with what we're getting in? You know what I mean? And both of them depend on sponsors and donations to fund their campaigns, right?
But he's obviously had a long time to catch up to that. Like he's had so long. And there are some people that wouldn't donate to Biden, but would donate to Kamala. So it's like he's cheated her so much out of her having a fair chance.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just how I feel. I just feel like it's great, and I'm loving the movement, and I'm loving the support, and both candidates have great supporters.
Yeah,
it's just that one is obviously got a head start.
Absolutely.
And whose fault is that? Right? Whose fault is that? So I just think like it's going to be very interesting, if nothing else.
It's a interesting time for sure.
And it's constantly evolving. We may do a couple more shows because it's almost like you see things happening like every day. Like every day. Like you'll see like we have to do little like, updates, I'm guessing. But it's going to be interesting to see like movement. Let's just see what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's like one of those, it's like peaceful protesting, right? It's like, be peaceful about it. Be peaceful about how you're feeling. Like it doesn't have to be an argument. It's some things are going to resonate with you that Trump's doing. Some things are going to resonate with you that Kamala's doing. Like which one do you fit with more? Which one do you resonate with more? And it doesn't have to be an argument. It just has to be with, okay. And some things you'll have to agree to disagree on. And that's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
Right. People have a hard time with agreeing to disagree for some reason.
Yeah. It's like because you get so passionate because I think people want other people to think the exact way that they do, or they want to force people to try to understand the way that they do. And some people just can't. Some people won't.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm more of like a
right.
Like you don't have to. I mean, but too, and also, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you about it. Like you know, like my I always I had the saying the other day, and I had my students laughing, but like Big Mama used to say, never argue with people in public because from a distance people can't tell who the fool is.
Exactly. Yep.
And so I'm not gonna sit up there arguing with you. Like if I have my valid reason for voting for who I choose to vote for, and your reasoning is well, just because you know he's this or he's that or she's this or she's that, and it's where it's more about the personal of the person and not like what they're standing on and what they're going to push and what their campaign is about, then that's on you.
Then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
You're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
That's like to me, that's just as bad at voting somebody because they're a certain color.
Right.
Because it's just as bad to vote somebody because they're black as it is to vote somebody because they're white.
Right.
So it's just
because discrimination is discrimination, right?
It's discrimination. There has to be substance, right? There has to be some substance to your vote. And I know not everybody has substance. Right. Some people are strictly going to vote because she's black. They're strictly going to vote because he's white.
Right. And or she's a woman and he's a man. Exactly. Because they don't feel that women have a place in the Oval Office. You know what I mean?
I heard somebody say that they feel like women were too emotional to be in the White House. Like whatever. But it's just, it's interesting to me. I think this is going to be like a pivotal year.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a pivotal time. I believe there's going to be so much tension.
Absolutely.
And I think people have to just be ready for it. You have to just be ready for it.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, make sure, because you know me, I'm a visionary. I always look at the long-term plan, right? I'm always about long-term investments, right? Exactly. Like I'm good for short-term sacrifice for long-term gains, right? That's just how my head works.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you want to vote, make sure you're registered. Make sure your information's updated. Make sure there's no misspellings because every little bit is going to matter.
Make sure your ID is valid and it's not expired.
Right. Because they're going to be nitpicky.
Yeah.
They're going to be nitpicky about things this election. And so we want to make sure we get ahead of all that.
And all honesty, I've never quite, and this is my ignorance, I've never quite understood the issue of needing an ID to vote. I feel like you should have an ID to vote. Is that something but people were fighting again. I don't understand that fight. I don't understand.
They don't want to have an ID?
Yeah, that people were saying like it was like discrimination to make people have an ID to go vote.
So how are they gonna know it's you? It's the same thing in healthcare, right?
That's what I was
We started
thinking.
taking pictures because people were using other people's insurance to get medical care. Right. So what's the problem? Like,
I don't know. Like there was something that I thought of like, well, yeah, you have to have. That's not that now you're just being silly. Like, of course you should have to have an ID to vote.
Now you're trying to be cute.
Yeah. Now, like, but I mean, like I said, but like having a voting poll that opens at 8 and closes at 5. Now that's a problem.
Right.
Because, some people have to work 8 to 5. They're not going to be able to get there. So that I totally agree with. But like certain things, I do believe people should have to have IDs to vote. If it's not a driver's license, it needs to be an ID. I don't understand the problem with that. But yeah, so I do think, like you said, go down the list, make sure your IDs are valid, make sure they're not expired. Make sure your name matches your voter registration card. Every time you get in your ID, they send you your voter registration card in the mail anyway. So take that with you at the same time. Like make it make your process as seamless
easy as possible
as you possibly can. Like don't be the reason why you can't vote.
Right.
know?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. And then as long as you're in that line, in that voting poll line, by the time, even if it's cutoff time, just stay in line. They can't turn you away. Yep.
They can't turn you away.
They have to give you the right. Yep. Absolutely. So I just think that people just need to be very mindful.
And vote early. Don't wait till the last minute. Some people, I actually kind of get joy out of going on the day.
You just like that.
It's exciting.
I'm a girl. You do Black Friday shopping too? Or did you used to when it was a thing?
I used to. Girl, look, I used to. It was a whole, we used to meet at Mama's house on Thanksgiving Day. And we would bring, like, different people would bring the newspapers, and we would divide who was going to go to what store to get what. And then we would, like, it would be so early, right? And then we would eat breakfast afterwards, and then we would go take a nap after we'd been up all
See,
morning.
girl, this is why we friends, because I used to love Black Friday shopping too.
It was a whole thing. The first time I went, I saw a fight, and I was hooked. And I was hooked.
You like that adrenaline rush.
Remember, that was before the shopping online stuff too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, when it was
so
a
the
thing, right?
in-person was more like, was more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, don't give them a reason. Bring your stuff. Have your I's dotted, T's crossed.
Yeah.
I like to go on that day only because I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's exciting for some reason to me. But if you know, like, maybe you're in an area to where they have issues, or maybe like, because if something's gonna happen, I feel like, honestly, it will happen on election night.
Oh yeah.
It's like the polls gonna, like, or the location, something's gonna have a computer glitch, or something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
So this might not be the year that I go late, that I go on the day. But it's just to make sense to me about that. But I know my friend, my best friend, she goes on the day it opens, like early voting starts.
Yeah, I do early voting. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's you. I'm like, I want the excitement.
I'm like, I don't want to deal with
everybody in line.
So we have a phone number that you can call and leave us a voicemail. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to chat with us about, you can call 512-710-7401 and leave us a message. We love feedback. We love to chat. So any questions, comments, concerns, let us know.
Awesome.
Yep. And then on our website, there is a contact form towards the bottom that you can complete. If you want to be a guest on the show, just fill it out. It'll come to us. I will send you a Google form to complete based on just asking questions like, what do you want to chat about, that kind of things. And we'll reach out to you either way. But yeah, there's multiple ways to get a hold of us. You can always comment on our episodes. We reply to all of them, but we are here to chat. We talk back.
Right. I know we got a lot of good feedback when we did our live show. If y'all missed it, you missed a treat.
Oh my gosh.
We did a live interview show on the KZI 88.7 FM
Austin
with DJ Slice. Super, super cool. Can't wait to come back to get back there. But we did have some great feedback. We had some good call-ins. We had great questions.
Yeah.
People wanted to be on the show, which we welcome that, because our main platform obviously is relationships and business. But we can't ignore this year. Like, you can't ignore like the voting. You can't ignore the election. You can't ignore what's going on in the world of politics right now. So I think this is obviously a much needed show, much requested show.
Yeah.
And it's just necessary, right? We have to do our due diligence and get the word out to help people get out and vote as well. So
yeah, this is absolutely not an out of sight, out of mind year. Like, we have to address the topics that are relevant. And like you said earlier about being able to afford to even live at this point, that's a huge issue. Yeah, Donnell and I were talking about that earlier this morning. We were talking about the houses. I'm like, how are people going to afford to buy houses? People that want to buy a house, because houses are so overpriced. And I was talking to one of my coworkers. I was like, look, I want to get a house, but there's a house across the street from us. It's for sale. It's like $420,000. And I was like, dude, I don't want to put that much money into a home, because I think that's crazy. Like, to me, that is
But even
crazy.
then, Amanda, if you're thinking about the interest rate,
yeah,
the houses are high and the interest rate is high right now.
So that house is priced at $420. You're probably gonna end up paying $650 for it.
Yeah, and it's normal to be 7.25. That's great. So whenever I got my house, the going rate was 4, which was high, because before the year or two before, it was like 2.6. And so there's some people that are in houses now that they're at a 2.6, 2.5. I'm at a 4, which is high to me, but I'm like, well, gosh, it's low now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
did you hear about some type of loans that you can get? Like, you can roll over your current interest rate in your loan, some type of financing that you do that they have available, that you can sell your house at the interest rate you got it at. I was going to look into that, because somebody told me that they got that offered to them. They were just purchasing a house recently. And I was like, that's interesting.
When you find out, tell me. I was looking at something, so I need to see if that still works.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'll pay an extra $10,000 for you to sell me your
right. or do find somebody with a VA loan like Terrell, but like Terrell has his VA, so he don't have to worry about.
Yeah, and then we do too. So the next house that we buy, we're going to use Donnell's VA loan.
Yeah, so, and that's just like that helps with taxes and everything. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, so
that's awesome.
There we go.
Y'all get out and vote. It has been a great episode as usual, of course. Get out and vote. The links, Amanda's putting the links on our actual website, so you actually see the links for voter registration. You'll see our telephone number, and you'll see the contact form as well on the website.
Yep. So reach out to us, guys. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into I Talk Back with Rae and Mandii. Please hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated on future podcasts.